Kharai were warriors bred from birth, towering reptilian felinoids with blade-like crests and spines designed to intimidate. Their society respected only strength, ancestry, and blood-won honor. Ranaan, High Matriarch of the Dominion, embodied all three. So when she nearly died because her own daughter triggered a ceremonial dueling trap wrong, it should have been Ranaan's last breath. Instead, a small, two-eyed, soft-skinned human scientist leapt between her and the collapsing spire. His name was Elias Carter, an anthropologist, not a warrior, and he held up 3 tons of falling stone long enough for Kharai guards to pull the matriarch free. No Kharai could have predicted that. No one could have predicted what came next. Beginning, the life debt. When Ranaan opened her eyes in the healer's chamber, she expected chance, advisors, maybe even whispers of succession. Instead, she saw Elias sitting awkwardly on a stool far too tall for him. He held a cup of steaming Kharai broth in his hands and stared ahead like someone trying not to look guilty. Her voice came out as a growl. "Human, why are you here?" Elias blinked. "You're welcome, I guess?" Ranaan pushed herself up, pain scorching her ribs. "Explain." "You were going to be crushed," he said simply. I reacted. "That's all." Her eyes narrowed. Among her people, saving a life wasn't all. Saving the matriarch's life was effectively rewriting destiny. "Do you understand what you have done?" she asked. Elias scratched his head. "Kept you alive?" "You have bound me to you," Elias stalled. What? A life debt," she hissed. "The greatest vow a Kharai can swear." The human paled. "That's not necessary." "It is sacred law. Your deed has weight. It demands repayment." Elias stood up quickly. Okay, please tell me repayment isn't cooking you meals or something." "No," Ranaan said, rising to full imposing height. "I must honor your courage by granting you protection, resources, or blood." Elias stumbled back. "Blood! Not my blood," she snorted. "My daughters." His brain blanked completely. "Your daughters? Warriors, elite, trained since hatching. They will follow you, defend you, and serve you. This is the highest repayment my lineage can offer." Elias felt faint. "I didn't ask for this." "That is irrelevant," she said. "Honor is not built on desire. It is built on obligation." At that moment, the chamber doors slid open, and 3 shadows stepped inside, the daughters. Tall, armored, eyes glowing with battle-born discipline. Ranaan gestured proudly. "These are my fiercest. Varsha, Kiri, and Maleen. They are yours now." Elias whispered, "I'm so dead." Middle, the warrior daughters, 1. The new commander? Elias tried to quit. He tried everything: diplomacy, legal appeals, fake sneezes. The Kharai thought sneezing meant weakness, even a very detailed PowerPoint presentation about how humans are statistically unfit for leading warrior units. Bar. Nothing worked. Bar. "Accept the honor," Ranaan had said, "or insult my house." Bar. So he accepted. Bar. And instantly discovered his new bodyguards took their duty very seriously. Varsha, the eldest, walked behind him constantly, carrying enough weapons to arm a small militia. Kiri, the middle daughter, treated every shadow as an assassination attempt. Maleen, the youngest, stared at Elias nonstop like a curious predator trying to understand a new species of prey. Their first mission together wasn't even a mission, just a simple supply visit to a Kharai border outpost. It took 15 minutes for chaos to erupt, because humans had a reputation in Kharai society: unpredictable, dangerous, scarier than they looked. So when Elias, a small human wearing a backpack covered in museum pins, walked into the outpost flanked by 3 lethal warrior daughters, the garrison panicked. "Matriarch's blood," a lieutenant whispered. "The human has taken control of Ranaan's brood." "Should we kneel?" another asked. "Kneel? Do you want to insult him?" Elias tried to calm them, hands raised. "Guys, please, I'm literally an intern." But Varsha stepped forward, voice booming. "Stand before the one who saved our matriarch. This human is under our sacred protection. Harm him and suffer our blades." The entire outpost dropped to their knees. Elias muttered, "I just came for research notes." 2. The threat beyond the border. Within weeks, word spread across Kharai space. Ranaan's daughters were bonded to a human. A human held the Matriarch's favor. A human commanded the fiercest warriors of a warrior empire. The political waves hit harder than any supernova. Whispers grew, plots formed, enemies stirred. Because the Kharai had many rivals, none more dangerous than the Dravik swarm, an insectoid hive species with a taste for Kharai territory. When Dravik scouts spotted the human and his warrior entourage, they misinterpreted the situation completely. They believed Elias was a new human war leader sent to train the Kharai for joint conquest. Within a month, a Dravik queen issued a dread proclamation: kill the human, break the Kharai, feed on their bones. Varsha brought the news to Elias personally. He had been eating cereal. They declared what? He sputtered through mouthfuls. War, Varsha said calmly, against us, because of you. He dropped the spoon. I'm an anthropologist. I write papers. I'm not war material. Kiri tilted her head. We will protect you, but the swarm wants your heart on a spike. That does not make me feel better. Malene leaned forward, sniffing him. Do you taste valuable? Maybe they sent your bravery. I don't have bravery. The sisters exchanged looks. Humans always say that, Kiri murmured. 3. The ambush. The first attempt on Elias's life came during a diplomatic escort mission. The Dravik dropped out of hyperspace with a kill squad of assassins. Elias saw them and screamed. Varsha saw them and smiled. The battle lasted 8 seconds. By the time Elias opened his eyes again, Kharai and Dravik bodies floated across the zero-gravity corridor, the daughters standing unharmed, blades steaming. You okay? Malene asked, almost excited. I think I blacked out. Good, Kiri replied. Means you didn't get in the way. They tried to leave the system. 2 more fleets arrived, then a third. It became clear the Dravik weren't trying to weaken the Kharai. They wanted Elias. What frightened him most was how confidently Varsha said, they will never stop. And she wasn't wrong. 4. The human inside. At night, in the barracks of their ship, Elias lay awake while the sisters stood guard. He whispered into the dark, Why are you doing all this? You barely know me. Varsha answered first. Honor binds us. Kiri added, Your courage saved our mother. That courage must be protected. Malene crouched beside him. Besides, you are interesting. But Elias wasn't convinced. I'm not brave, he said softly. I acted on instinct. Wrong place, wrong time. Courage is instinct, Varsha replied. It is choosing others over yourself before thinking. He turned to look up at them. So you're willing to die for me? All 3 nodded. Elias felt something shift inside him, a resolve he never knew he could carry. Then he whispered, I need to be worth that. Ending, the great battle of the line. 1. The Dravik Prime Fleet arrives. When the Dravik Prime Fleet emerged from hyperspace, a swarm of tens of thousands of living ships, the Kharai Dominion braced for annihilation. The Kharai War Council panicked. But Ranaan didn't. She sent one message, to my daughters. Bring the human to me. When Elias arrived at the war citadel, Ranaan stood at its center, armored from crest to tail. You caused this, she said. Elias winced. Sorry, you owe us balance, she growled, and I will give you a chance to repay it. He stiffened. What do you want me to do? Ranaan pointed toward the battlefield, where Dravik ships blotted the stars. Use what humans excel at, unpredictability. Elias swallowed. That's very vague. Varsha placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. We believe in you. Which was insane, terrifying, and exactly what he needed. 2. The human's plan. Elias stepped forward. All right, he said, breathing deep. The Dravik think I'm some sort of human war leader, so let's give them something they'll never forget. He turned to the daughters. Gather every ship with long-range comms, every amplifier, every broadcasting relay. Ranaan raised a brow. You plan to negotiate? No, Elias smiled weakly. Humans have another instinct. Kiri leaned in. Chaos? Close, Elias replied. Psychology. Elias understood one thing the Dravik did not. Hive minds were vulnerable to emotional disruption. He crafted a message, a simple one, a terrifying one, broadcast on every possible frequency. 3. The message that broke a hive. When the message hit the Dravik consciousness, it wasn't sound. It was story. Images Elias recorded of Earth, thunderstorms, volcanoes, predators, cities glowing, humans laughing in burning ruins during festivals, ancient wars, modern unity, impossible survival against impossible odds. He narrated calmly, "Humans don't start fights, but when someone threatens what we protect, we don't stop, we don't surrender, we don't break." The hive felt every image, every emotion, every instinctual warning that humanity was dangerous. Then Elias gave the final line. "If you strike at me, you strike at my species, and humanity will answer." The psychological blast hit the Dravik like a temporal shockwave. The hive reeled, ships collided, orders dissolved, the queen shrieked in fear. The Kharai watched in awe as the entire Dravik fleet began to withdraw, panicked, confused, utterly shattered. Elias collapsed from exhaustion. Varsha caught him before he fell. "You did it," she whispered. 4. Aftermath. When Elias awoke, he was surrounded. Ranaan, her daughters, and a crowd of Kharai warriors. Ranaan bowed. "Human Elias Carter, you saved not only my life, but my people." He sat up weakly. "I improvised." "That," the Matriarch replied, "is humanity's deadliest weapon." The council demanded he be granted a title. So Ranaan declared, "From this day forth, Elias Carter is first bond of House Ranaan, advisor to the Dominion, and guardian of the Kharai people." Varsha knelt. Kiri knelt. Malin knelt. Elias tried not to cry. "I didn't earn all this," he whispered. Ranaan placed a clawed hand on his shoulder. "You saved me once. You saved us all today. The life debt is fulfilled, but the bond remains if you wish it." Elias looked at the warrior daughters, his protectors, his improbable friends, his unexpected family. He smiled. "I want it. Final scene. New beginnings." Elias returned to the Matriarch's palace, now honored as the first human integrated into a Kharai noble line. The daughters stood beside him proudly. "Where do we go from here?" he asked. Varsha grinned. "Anywhere." Kiri tapped her blade. "Enemies remain." Malin leaned close. "Adventures await." Elias took a deep breath. The universe was terrifying, but he wasn't alone. And somewhere deep within Kharai space, the Dravik hive whispered warnings of the tiny human who wielded fear like a blade. Elias Carter, the human who earned a place among warriors, the human who changed a civilization, the human given the fiercest daughters of a matriarch. And together, they were just getting started.